At the close of last week, Marjorie Taylor Greene had the nerve to move to censure fellow Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib on the most audacious grounds.
In May 2019, Rashida Tlaib said that she celebrated the Holocaust and felt a calming feeling when thinking about the genocide of millions of Jews.
The responses to Greene's little stunt came in hot over the weekend.
That's right. It's Marjorie Taylor Greene. And it gets worse, because when you read Greene's resolution, you realize it is A, written by someone who seems to have learned about the Arab-Israeli conflict maybe 10 minutes before, who maybe didn't even have access to Wikipedia.
Welcome into TYT Overruled. I am your host, Adrienne Lawrence.
In September 2022, Rashida Tlaib, as a member of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, displayed her disdain for Israel, saying, "You cannot claim to hold progressive values, yet back Israel's apartheid government."
On Thursday, Georgia Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene made wildly skewed accusations against Representative Rashida Tlaib, the only member of Congress of Palestinian descent. Tlaib also happens to be one of the few members of Congress who oppose financial support for Israel, particularly since October 8th, when the country declared war on Hamas following the group's attack on Israel. Apparently, Greene is convinced that Tlaib failed in her duties and should have done more.
Instead of denouncing the horrors of Hamas, slaughtering Israelis, and demanding the release of all hostages held by Hamas, Rashida Tlaib stated on October 8, 2023, "The path to the future must include lifting the blockade, ending the occupation, and dismantling the apartheid system that creates the suffocating, dehumanizing conditions that can lead to resistance."
Despite her involvement in the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol, while introducing her resolution, Greene really showcased some profound delusion as to what an insurrection is.
By leading an anti-American and anti-Semitic insurrection on October 18, 2023, Rashida Tlaib followed Hezbollah's orders to carry out a day of unprecedented anger.
What was this purported insurrection? Well, it was the Jews' Voices for Peace protest. Interestingly enough, Greene officially requested Capitol Police to investigate, arrest, and prosecute members of that group for being anti-Semitic. In response to this resolution, Jake Tapper of CNN took Miss Greene to task.
Because when you read Greene's resolution, you realize it is A, written by someone who seems to have learned about the Arab-Israeli conflict maybe 10 minutes before, who maybe didn't even have access to Wikipedia. And B, while there are plenty of valid criticisms of Congresswoman Tlaib, this resolution twists a bunch of things that she said beyond recognition. And C, the resolution seems much more focused on January 6th than it does on October 7th.
Tapper wasn't the only one disgusted with Greene's resolution. Her colleagues were too. Representative Becca Balint of Vermont clapped right on back with a resolution to censure Greene, reading aloud the gentlewoman from Georgia's very long list of offensive incidents.
Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene has repeatedly fanned the flames of racism, anti-Semitism, hate speech against the LGBTQ community, Islamophobia, Asian hate, xenophobia, and other forms of hatred. Marjorie Taylor Greene has repeatedly espoused anti-Semitic rhetoric and conspiracy theories, including through inflammatory evocations of the Holocaust. Whereas on May 20th, 2021, Marjorie Taylor Greene said that the mask mandate in the House of Representatives was akin to Jews being put in trains and taken to gas chambers in Nazi Germany. Whereas on May 25th,
Lastly, Representative Tlaib herself chimed in with this statement. Marjorie Taylor Greene's unhinged resolution is deeply Islamophobic and attacks peaceful Jewish anti-war advocates. I am proud to stand in solidarity with Jewish peace advocates calling for a ceasefire and an end to the violence. I will not be bullied, I will not be dehumanized, and I will not be silenced. I will continue to call for a ceasefire, for the immediate delivery of humanitarian aid, for the release of hostages and those arbitrarily detained, and for every American to be brought home. I will continue to work for a just and lasting peace that upholds the human rights and dignity of all people and ensures that no person, no child, has to suffer or live in fear of violence. Perhaps Greene should be spending more time helping prevent a government shutdown rather than pushing Islamophobic attacks in Congress. But then again, those are just my thoughts. You let me know yours in the comments below, hit those like and follow buttons, and thanks for watching.